This is Irontrader, and this is Midday Trading. So I'm going to take a look here at some tech stocks, which are moving today. Apple, PLTR, Amazon, NVIDIA, BMNR, and OneStream, OS. Okay, this video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy or sell any stock market ETF. Please like to subscribe. Thanks for watching. Okay, here we have Apple daily and weekly chart. Now, they had their new phone debut today, and usually it was wah, 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 same old, but this time this phone is looking really, really good. And again, they are going to send this stock higher. Now, they have predictions where this stock is going to be right there in the 240 to 250 area. So all you have to do is just look at the retest at 260. These people should look at the charts. That's where I think we're going to be heading right back to, okay? So what we got here on the old Apple is you got 243. What we need to do is close above this 241.32. That's going to be very, very key. Now you can see how we ran up. We made a high at 241.32. We retested it with 241.22, and then she just went a sideways action. But now this new phone debut is looking really, really good. Okay, so what we have here is your high today is 243.44 level. Okay, so all we do is look right to the left of the chart here, and what do we see? Your next level is going to be 244.03. We'll come up top of this candle, 248.86. Then we'll bring this price channel right across here. You're looking at 253.28, and then we have that retest there of 260. Okay, so actually, I say this is looking very, very nicely here on the old Apple. Okay, so we had this bottom situation, sideways consolidation, and remember, when you see this consolidation like this builds energy, and it can be cracked to the bottom downside just as well as it can to the upside, but in this case, nicely to the upside, and it looks like it wants to move higher. Now, we had a little bit of a negative divergence going on here, but now we're kind of coming right on back here. So we could really take this stock here to go much higher. And I'm looking for that retest there of 260. So I'm long the stock now. This wasn't really one of my favorite trades. I think there was better stuff out there. But now that they got their mojo back here, I think this can rip much, much higher. Now, when we look here on your weekly chart, you can see you're only sitting at 61. You got plenty of room to run. Your green is over your red. This is looking very, very good here for a nice retest of that 260. But remember, watch this area right here. This is going to be very, very key. That's that 250 area. That's going to be very, very critical. Whenever we can get above that to that 260. But just always look at that because that was here where we had that sideways action. Then we had that topping tail, and then it came all the way on down. So just be a little bit aware. Always look at that weekly chart here on Apple. But right now, Apple looking very, very nicely. Now, downside, you got to hold this key level right here. This is that 241.32. If not, we have the 8-day sitting right here. Okay, we're looking at 235, and then we're looking at that 233 level. Then we have your retest there at 223, which lines up with your 50-day, and then we have your 200-day right below it at 221. But right now, unless something happens here in the market, this looks like it just wants to go higher. All right, let's take a look here now at Palantir. Here we have Palantir. Now, this had a really, really good run-up kind of a situation. If you look at all these earnings, all right, see how this, and it just popped right back up. The next earnings that had a nice, good run. This is the last earnings, popped right up. So what I was looking forward to do is find a way to get back into the stock. Now you can see how nice we consolidated right in this area. Okay, we had that spike down, but you notice that that's all it was a spike down, and then we consolidated. So I got long here on this candle right here, okay? So it got as high as 162, a 75 level, and as low as 156. Okay, I'm in at 160 flat. Okay, so that's where I got in here because I could see here the potential of what's going up on here, and now you can see how we're just rallying and cracking right on up here nicely. Okay, so let's take a little bit closer look. So what we got here on the upside, now we're getting outside of these price channels. Okay, but again, eventually that'll come right back in. But for right now, we got this high of 184.27, where Palantir is up there over $7 today. Now we're looking for that retest of 190. We crack that, you're going to go to that 200, and then we could work yourself all the way up to 250 very, very easily, kind of a situation. Now you can see how that 8-day crossed over the 21-day, and now that's going to provide very, very good support level. So what we want to watch is yesterday's high at 178.80. Today's low 176.71, and then we can come down right here down to this 8-day at that 171.68 level, and then we have your 21-day and your 50-day sitting around that 162 level. Now, we're not overbought here yet. We still got plenty of room to run. This is an overbought condition, so you got plenty of room to run. The green is over your red. This looks very, very nice. I'm looking for a retest of this 190 level, so we got to see if it shakes on up. Now we look here on the weekly chart. Look at this. Look at this. It just consolidation, and then when she popped, she just blew right on up. So you can see here what it really wants to do is just retest that 190. Then we have to see what the reaction is once we get there, okay? But right now, this chart is looking very, very bullish here on the weekly and very, very bullish here on the old daily chart. Let's take a look here now at Amazon. Here we have Amazon. Now, watch that Thursday Night Football on Amazon. Awesome. I mean, what a great game. I knew Buffalo was going to pull it out. Buffalo just got a lot of juice going on with them. And I think they're going to be not only playoffs, but I think they're going towards that Super Bowl bound. But we'll see how that all shakes out. Okay. Anyway, here on the downside, what you really want to watch on Amazon is that 231 level. That's your 8-day. That 230, your 21-day, and then we have that 227. That's going to be very key. We lose that, you're going to come down here to 226 level, and then we have down here 224, and then we'll come down to the bottom of the candle, 221, and then we have that retest down here at that 220 level, which is right there, and then this retest here at that 219, and then we can start coming into your 100-day and your 200 SMA. But right now, this is looking very, very nicely. You can see here how they've had a really good, nice run, and it looks, if we can crack, again, this 238, then we're going to head for that 242.52 level, okay? But we have this level here that we want to look at first on the upside. That's 236, okay? Then your next level is going to be right there, 236.53, and then we head up to that 238.85, and then we can go to this 252 level. But I think Amazon, like all these tech stocks, are really coming into their own kind of a situation. This looks very, very bullish. Now, you look at this chart, low, higher low, higher low, higher low, and they're holding that 50-day very, very nicely. Now, on the downside, again, just watch that right there, that key level, that 231, that 8-day, that 21-day, and then that 50-day. We want to make sure that we hold that. If not, we could retest that 220 level, possible at 100-day, and that 200 SMA. But right now, this is looking very, very good. Now, you can see here on the RSI, you never got to an overbought situation. You just had a very, very strong stock. And now we're only sitting at 54. So that has plenty of room to run. We got sideways action here. This is looking very, very good kind of a situation. I think in October, they have another like a sale or Prime Day, something coming up here. So that should be a good incentive to go higher. Now, only sitting at 60, plenty of room to run. The green is over your red. This is looking very, very good. And I wouldn't doubt here will be, once we crack that 238, you're going to go to that 242.52 level. And then we got to see what the reaction is. You crack that, you're going to 250, and then work yourself all the way up to 300. Okay, let's take a look here at BMNR. All right, BMNR. This is like Ethereum kind of situation. My buddy Jet, he trades this. He's just killing it, okay? So this is what we had. Now, yesterday what we had is we had this high of 63.53. Today we had a high of 64.25. But you notice that it couldn't close. So what you really want to do is just look to the left of this chart. Okay, so when you have a candle like this, okay, a green candle, even though it's a topping tail, that doesn't mean anything. That can still go very high. This is what you don't want, is this candle here, okay? Because then what it does, it wants to come right on down kind of situation. Now, we had a topping tail here. It came on down, but it held it with a bottoming tail and then rallied right back up here again, okay? So, again, when you look at this candle, this looks like, oh, man, this is going to come down. But no, the candle is actually green, and all that was is trader just selling into this resistant level right here, okay? So what you're really looking here on a closing basis is you want to watch that 63.75 level, okay? So right now you're sitting at 61.21. This is the key. Now, again, if you can get above that 63.75, then we come up here, 67.59. We'll come top of there at 70 flat, and then here's your big breakout candle at 71.74, and we have to see what your reaction is once we get there, okay? So right now, this was like a FOMO. Ran right on up here, so we can hit those targets. But first of all, you got to crack above this. Once we crack above that, then we can start hitting all the rest of these targets here very, very nicely. Now you see that 74.48 level right there, okay? Then we have that 71.74. So that is going to be your next level of resistance. If we get above, then all you do is look at the bottom of that candle at that 92.50. We come down here at that 110.84, and then we just venture right on up here to the top of that candle, 124.58. 126 flat, 134.48, and then rally up to that 161. But we worry about that later. Right now, all we're worried about here is this top of this candle at 63.75. Then we can follow these candles, and this is going to be the key one at 71.74 level for a breakout to hit this levels right here. But right now, this is looking very good. Now, on the downside, you want to watch, obviously, today's low. That's at 59.12. But this is going to be the key, is going to be that 54.46. As long as we're above that 8-day, we're going to be sideways to up action. We lose that, then you have 49.12 level. Then we have your 50-day at 46.09. Then we can come down here to the retest at 39.70 level. But right now, this is looking very good. But when you see that candle, okay, you say, oh, wow, that's the topping candle. Well, yes and no. It's like this candle right here, okay? See, so it looks like it topped out. But when the candle stays green, that means that could go real much, much higher. So always look to the left of the chart. That's exactly what we're looking for, okay? Now, this chart needs for me to be a little bit more, time. This doesn't have very much time on it. But again, you can see here on a weekly, we're still holding that 8-day very, very nicely here at that 49.54. And that's the key is heading that. But then we want to go there and we're going to take that reaction right here at that 71.74. That's going to be your big breakout. Then we can start hitting these big ass candles. Okay, let's look at here at OneStreet. All right, here we have OneStreet. Now, a buddy of mine, he trades this. He just got a little bit caught up here at the top. No big deal. We had some sideways action. And now we can see we hit this bottom of this 1842 level, okay? So what I said is what you got to do is watch right here. That's the key. Okay, what do we have? 1845. What do we hit there? 1842. Within 3 cents, all right? So that there now is your double bottom, okay? See that yet? Look at that. See? There it is, double bottom situation. So everything you always need to know is to the left. Now, if you were to lost that key level there, then what we do is we come down to the bottom there, 1796 level. We'll come down here to this one, 1769. We'll come down to the bottom there at 1738. And then we have your retest there at 1669. But that's not what happened. It held that. So all we do is always trade level to level to level. And if it holds that level, that means you can take the trade going long and don't be so scared about it, okay? So what we have is 1842. That was your nice bottom. Then we rallied up here nicely, had a nice green candle, came all the way on up. And now look at today, though. Today, you got to be careful with this candle here. So we got as high. Today is that 2052 level. So all we have to do is just look right over to the left of the channel. What do you have? 2054. You came in within 2 cents, okay? So now, if we can get above that, then we can rally up to the next level, okay, at that 2075. We'll come up top of that candle at that 2014 level right there. See how that price channel is? 2014. Then we just bring the next price channel over. What do you have? 2160. Then we have your 50-day at 2169, all right? But again, we had sideways action. Probably drew a lot of people in here that says, oh, this is going lower. However, the real reason how you know it's not going lower is look at the RSI here, okay? See how we had this low? We had this low. We had a lower low, but we had a higher low. See this positive divergence? Okay, I can't stress it enough how the RSI does not just measures the strength of a stock or a commodity or whatever, but use it also as a divergence. It's a very, very great indicator. I've been using this for forever, and it really works very, very nice. See how we have that positive divergence, and where they have a low and they have a lower low, low and a higher low, and that tells you that, hey, maybe that bottom is in, and then you add that up, and then you look to the left of the chart, and you say, okay, within 2 cents, now we have that nice double bottom situation, okay? So again, what you want to watch on the downside is you want to make sure that we hold that 21-day at that 1968, and then we have that nice 8-day at 1915. Now we lose that, we come to the bottom of that candle at that 1882, and then your retest is at 1842. But just watch this candle, because what we did is you went right into resistance again, so you have to get back above that to hit that 2114, and then bottom line to hit that 2160 level, and then right there your 2169. Now we look here also on the weekly chart. Okay, very, very nice. Held this nice key situation. Okay, see, held that right there. There's that candle again. That 1845 level. Okay, so we're sitting right there. But where did it go? Right into that 8-day. So always put a weekly chart right next to your daily. That way you can have a big vision of what you're going to go. Anything that'll give you an edge in trading, anything that'll make you more money, feel confidence where you can go forward, and that's the key of the game, is to make consistent money. Now you can see where it went right into there. So far for the week, you went in there at 2053. Now you have to get above that. Then we can layer all these candles right on up here, so we can basically hit not only that level there, but we can start heading maybe for that 21 SMA. So just be a little bit patient with this, but always look at the RSI. Look to the left of the chart. Look for double bottoms, double tops, breakouts, anything that you can that'll give you an advantage. Okay, now I did a video here a couple weeks back all about candlesticks and all about chart patterns. Just do yourself a favor. Take a look at that, okay, because I look at it every day, every week, I should say, just to get an upgrade, to keep that flow kind of going. All right, that's what I got for you. I'll be back here after your pick close. We'll take a look here at Bitcoin, at Ethereum ETF, ETHU, gold, silver, crude oil, natural gas. Take a look at the indexes, which are nice and green. All right, trade what's in front of you. Now what you want.